In case you have been living under a rock somewhere, you know that foldable phones are out there in the market, and that is the craze right now. Pretty much all the major manufacturers from Samsung to Google, OnePlus, Huawei, Xiaomi all have foldable phones except Apple. Apple still has not had even a prototype of a foldable phone yet. Now, looking past foldables, let's talk about rollable phones. Now, we have seen some concepts out there from the LG rollable TV. Samsung has their prototype rollables out there, to Royale as well. Apple, a lot of people believe Apple may be even bypassing foldables and going right into rollables display tag. That remains to be seen. But this article right here, forget folding. Apple really wants iPhones with rollable screens. Now, this is an article out of Apple Insider. This article is going to dig into the patent that Apple has filed. But before we dive deep into this article, if you are new to this channel and enjoy this type of content, please do me a huge favor. Consider hitting that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and hit that like button as well if you are enjoying this video. All right, let's dive into this article. Forget folding. Apple really wants iPhones with rollable screens. Again, out of Apple Insider, an iPhone Fold may have already been in Apple's rearview mirror as the company is diligently pursuing the idea of an iPhone screen that can be rolled up when not in use. In May of 23, Apple Insider described Apple as being like a dog with a bone for how it's kept pressing on with rollable screen ideas. 2 months later, it's back again. A newly revealed patent application called Just Electronic Devices with Rollable Displays is less detailed than some of the previous filings. More than even patent applications, they were primarily about folding screens and only mentioned rollables as an alternative. This one reads like a primer for the notion. Yeah, so I'll show the patent a little bit, but this article does a good job of breaking out some of the big points. But I'll just show you the patent just so you can see it. And I'll also link it down in the description as well. An electronic device may have a rollable display, it says. The display may be moved between an unrolled state in which the display is planar and a rolled state in which a rollable portion of the display is rolled up for storage. The display may have a display panel with a mixed array of that produces images and a transparent protective layer that overlaps the pixel array. It continues. The transparent protective layer is interesting because Apple goes on to say that it may itself contain a layer of glass, and that glass layer may be locally thinned in the rollable portion to facilitate the rolling of the display. So that is very interesting that they actually talk about having the actual glass layer that is a rollable portion to facilitate the rolling of the display. So the rollable glass along with the rollable display is what they're talking about here, which would be pretty unique and pretty cool. Would love to see that come down the pipeline, but again, this is just a patent. We have no idea if this tech will ever come to market. As you know, companies file for these patents years in advance just to have it, just in case they have a breakthrough in R&D. Let's keep going here. Just as with foldable phones, the issue is how to make a screen work and keep working when it is bent about some axis. The patent application describes in broad terms what's required and how it might be achieved. For example, a flexible bendable display may be partly or completely rolled up so that it may be placed in a compact shape for storage and may be rolled out when it is desired to view images on the display, continues Apple. That's pretty standard there. The display may be configured to apply compressive stress to the outwardly facing surface of the glass layer when the display is rolled up. Compressive stress is the outwardly facing glass surface may help prevent damage to the display when the display is bent during rollable operations or rolling operations, says the patent. This is really a very broad patent. Oh, actually, I want to skip that one. For example, a layer of glass that is attached to the outer front-facing surface of the panel may be used to prevent display panel from deforming and becoming damaged when a user's finger, computer stylus, or other external objects contact the front side, explains Apple. Protective polymer layers and or other protective layers may be formed as coatings on the glass layer to help prevent scratching of the glass. Yeah, so that's what this figure right here is showing. I think 36 right here will be the external polymers or smudge protected or glass protected, just a layer to help protect the screen there. Yeah, when I go through the patent, you'll see a lot more images as well. The patent application also refers to strain gauges, capacitive force sensors, resistive force sensors, etc., which could be used, but then it goes into a regular patent method of listing every conceivable point that could ever be related to the idea. Again, this is what patents do. They try to list out every conceivable way that they can. However, this time it includes mentioning sensors in the display. Some are overlapping, such as variations on capacitive touch sensors, but overall, Apple lists around a dozen sensor possibilities. This includes sensors for measuring three-dimensional non-contact gestures, air gestures. So this could be an unrolled and then react to a user waving over it. So that would be pretty cool. You just wave your hand over it and then the screen just rolls out. Now that would be unique. I would love to see something like that actually come to market. Again, that's a possibility. We don't know if it will ever happen. Again, they just filed for the patent. If this were the only Apple patent application regarding the rollable displays, it could read even like a catch-all one, more concerned patenting and idea to prevent rivals getting to it right. That's why you filed a patent. As it is, though, Apple has been working on the idea since at least 2017. So it seems like they have been doing this for a while. If they've been doing this since 2017, I know other manufacturers probably doing it probably a year or two before that. It seems to keep coming back to the notion that it's like like its favorite. All right, and this is last talk about some people what they've done before. Here's the patent here. Again, this is one of the patents that is pretty light on wording for the most part. You just see a lot more images here. Just going through here. So the rollable display obviously stored up. Look like I said on both ends. Then that's the figure that we already seen. Again, this is a bigger one, just showing the display rolled up on spool looks like. Just another question. Then there's some more text about what each of those figures and numbers are. So it's pretty interesting. Do I think Apple's going to skip foldables and go right to rollables? I really don't know. Again, we don't even have a prototype from Apple at this point with a foldable phone. So maybe I mean, it's possible that Apple could skip foldables and move straight into the rollables. They probably see rollables as a future tech and better. And they will more than likely just want to jump right into something that is more probably not a lot of people in there right now. So when they come to that space, they'll be the king or whatever. But in my opinion, I don't think that the rollable tech is for an iPhone. I think it would make more sense for them to do it with an iPad. A lot more real estate. You allow the screen to have a lot more room to actually roll up under, because you're going to have an iPad that's a little bit thicker than a phone, so it's going to allow the display to not be so compressed. I think it will be for an iPad, not necessarily an iPhone. I think instead of making an iPhone, I think it'd be less risky if they did it with an iPad, because they'll still have the regular iPads, but then you could also market an iPad, which will cost a lot of money, but it would still be geared towards a person that is into the Apple products, that has more disposable income, that would be willing to spend that money on more riskier tech like that. But that's what I think. I don't think it's coming to the phone. I believe that it will be an iPad, in my opinion. But that is my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Do you think this rollable tech will be more suitable for the iPhone or for the iPad? Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section. Once again, thank you for taking the time out to watch this video. If you are new to this channel, please do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and hit that like button if you enjoy this type of content. Also, if you want to stay up to date with the latest tech news, head over to soundsnerdy.com, where I curate and aggregate tech news from around the web and bring it to you in one convenient location at soundsnerdy.com. And I cover Apple, Samsung, Google, Android, computing, and even more general tech news, all at soundsnerdy.com. And until the next video, guys, stay nerdy.